Culturally speaking, Indians just don't talk about infertility. I remember a Hindu priest came over to visit my grandmother one day, and she sat down. She mentioned to him that we were trying to have a baby, and he proceeded to tell me a story about chickens. He explained that there are two types of chickens, black chickens and white chickens. The white chickens are the lean ones that produce the eggs, and the black chickens can't produce eggs, but they're just good for their meat. Moral of the story, he said, was that fat people can't have babies. It took everything in me not to leap over the table and knock him to the ground. But, after a few years of going through infertility and having IVF, IUI, and no success, I looked into other options. I started looking around for an egg donor, but that was hard to find. It was hard to find an Indian egg donor at that time. I started asking my neighbors that looked a little darker in complexion, that were minorities, and said, "How dark were you when you were born?" I just became desperate. My mother said, "Don't tell anyone about what you're going through. Just do what you need to do, and you don't need to tell anyone." Well, our next step was looking at adoption. The issue was bringing a non-Indian child into our family, a child that I was told by a family member that they didn't have the same bloodline. It just wasn't going, the child might not be accepted into the family. And a child that looked different may not be as loved, which was very unfortunate. My husband and I didn't feel that way, but unfortunately we were afraid that other family members might. So it was just an ongoing issue dealing with infertility. I was even ready to pay one Indian egg donor that I found online nearly $10,000 just for her egg. My husband freaked out when I told him to go get a second mortgage on our house just for this donor. Luckily, my doctor talked me out of it and encouraged me to consider acupuncture. I started treatment. After 6 weeks of acupuncture, I was pregnant naturally without even knowing it. I had no idea. Since then, I have been blessed with two beautiful, beautiful boys who are now 6 and 3. And I'm grateful, though, for having gone through the years of infertility. But being the black chicken of my family, I decided to scream this message from the mountaintop. Yes, I'm infertile, and I bet there are at least 5 other people in this room that are going through the same thing. And I can't tell you how many times when I'm at a family function that I'll have someone come up to me and whisper in my ear, "Can we talk later?" And I guess for those that know me, I speak my mind. I'm always done that, and I continue to do so. I wanted to come out of the dark ages and help others. I may not be feeding the hungry and the homeless or raising money for shelters, but in my own small way, I think I'm changing lives by encouraging people, especially those in our culture, to speak out and not be afraid to say that they can't have a child. The stigma for some Indian women is being barren. It's almost like a curse in our culture. For your being an Indian woman, your role is to take care of your family, take care of your husband, and cook and clean and make a baby. And for the older generation, if you can't make that happen, there's something wrong with you. It's God's will, as they say. But I think, fortunately, things are starting to change where some people are becoming more open, and I'm glad that I have the chance to share with viewers and with Redbook and those that are coming to the site to know that there are others out there just like you, regardless of color, nationality, um, and we're all going through the same thing. Some of us just suffer silently behind our computers and in our own rooms, but it's time now to help speak out and help change some lives. And you never, when I get a call and or an email from someone I met that was inspired by me to take action um, with their health, it just warms my heart. And I think now I'm finally realizing the answers to my questions over the years. My question was always, why? Why me? And I think now I know why.